I just saw this story. Reading it this morning in the Sporting News. That's a fine publication. NFL ratings saw a boost on every channel. Fox, NBC, CBS, Monday Night Football, every single channel. And in fact, the story says the key to it is we've got Mahomes versus Baker Mayfield. These two new stars are... So before I get cynical, I'm in the story business. I'm not in the radio business. I'm not in the television business. I'm in the story business. I relate stories, tell stories, try to create stories. That's all I've ever done. People that work at newspapers are not in the newspaper business. They're in the story business. The reason the NFL ratings went up, because the previous 2 years, do you know what the big story was in the NFL? It wasn't a football story. It was a political story, kneeling. This year we had 6 riveting stories. Let's go over them. People will tell you the reason the NFL, the ratings are up this year is blah, 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 blah. The reason the ratings are up is because the previous 2 years, we didn't have a really compelling, gripping story. The one we had was about politics more than football. Let's talk about the 6 stories that we had this year that you couldn't keep your eyes off. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes. Oh my God, who's Patrick Mahomes? Left-handed passes, no-look passes. We didn't watch him play much in college. 90-yard throws in practice. Oh, my God, who is this kid? Let's be honest about it. He's an amazing talent. At this point, a little overvalued. Andy Reid deserves a lot of credit. He's got great weapons around him. Pro bowlers at left tackle, wide receiver, tight end, and formerly at running back. But the first story this year that helped ratings, oh my God, Patrick Mahomes. The second big story this year, and again, I'm in the story business, was, hey, Baker Mayfield, this cocky kid can play. Mayfield is what TV, radio, and newspapers live off. He's polarizing. 0-16 to pretty competitive. Brash, grabs his junk. Cocky, comes on shows like this, talks back. Baker Mayfield is fun. He's one of the first quarterbacks I turn the TV on every Sunday. The third story you couldn't keep your eyes off, and this was more of the car wreck you slow down on the freeway to watch, was John Gruden's massive personnel moves. He single-handedly made the Bears the best defense in the league by giving them Khalil Mack, and he made the Dallas Cowboys a viable playoff contender by giving them Amari Cooper. Week to week, you could not keep your eyes off the car wreck known as John Gruden and the Raiders. The fourth great story this year, the Dallas Cowboys roller coaster. 3-5 to 10-6. You can't pay Dak you're going to have to pay Dak. The Amari Cooper edition, beating the New Orleans Saints, an almost inexplicable performance. The fifth big story this year, and I don't think anybody would deny this, the diva drama in Pittsburgh. The first month of the year, it was all about Le'Veon Bell. That one ended. For the next 5 weeks, it was all about Big Ben and Tomlin. That one ended. And at the last 2 weeks, it was all about Antonio Brown. Stars are interesting. They're even more interesting when they're fighting with each other. People can compare them to whoever you want. It was a reality show. And the sixth biggest story, I know they're not based, on the Pacific or Atlantic Ocean, but it was the Green Bay Packers man overboard. First game of the year, Aaron Rodgers gets hurt again. He limps around for the next month and a half. He comes back, doesn't get along with Mike McCarthy. Eye-rolling, contempt, passive-aggressive quotes. Then Mike McCarthy gets fired. 6 captivating, gripping, football on-the-field stories week after week after week. That is why the ratings are up. That is why football is back. That the number one story in this league is not a political story. It's a story that is the reason we've always watched on Sundays and Mondays and now Thursdays and Saturdays. On the field, can't turn away stories, and we had 6 great ones this year.